Hey, creators! Welcome to the very first podcast of Beyond the Print, where we dive into all things creative, sublimation, DTF, and everything in between. Each week, we're going to explore different aspects of the creative business world, talk about the best tools and techniques, and I'll be answering your burning questions to help you grow and succeed. I'm real excited to have you guys, but let me introduce myself. My name is Kaylee, and I've gone by Kaylee Sue Vinyl on social media since about 2020. I am a creative coach specializing in sublimation, DTF, all things vinyl. I started with an Explore Air way back in 2017. That's when the Explore Air 2 first launched, and I had no idea that would actually launch a completely different path for my entire life moving forward. So there's no way I'm about to bore you with 7 years of backstory, but one thing that I do like to mention is creating for me truly did change my life. If we can rewind for just a second, when I started with my Cricut Explore Air 2, mentally I was in just like a dark time period of my life. I didn't know that I was ever going to pull out of it. And taking a moment to just create and learn something new gave me this newfound reality. It just pulled me away from the chaos and the hectic lifestyle that I was consumed in and gave me a moment to just find peace and actually find something that I enjoyed. So, throughout this journey, Cricket, if you're ever listening, you've done so much more for me than you could ever imagine. Anyways, there was a lot of trial and error in there. I'm not saying it was easy. Let me tell you, I burned myself more than I could ever imagine. I wasted so much money on vinyl, and there were nights that I was just ready to throw in the towel. But over the years, I continued to just have this flame burning inside of me. I consumed all of the content that I could, all of the tutorials, all of the tips. And then I scrolled across something called sublimation, and I'm like, wait a minute, no layering, great detail, super easy to begin. Oh, okay, sign me up. So this was in the midst of 2020. I know, you're like, girl, I get it. We were sitting in the house, we were bored. And for me, I was obviously delusional because I thought, this is super easy. No problem. Pick it up, print it, press it. We're good. Boy, that couldn't have been further from the truth. I spent so many nights just completely terrified. Did I just make the biggest financial mistake in the middle of an epidemic? Completely had lost my mind. What in the hell was I thinking? I tried to look up tutorials and ask questions and find somebody that might be able to help me, but honestly, sublimation was pretty new. It just became a trend, and nobody wanted to tell other people exactly what they were doing or how they were doing it. And hey, I understand if you're putting in the effort and the research, you shouldn't just give it away. I'm not knocking you, I'm just saying, good Lord, in the beginning, that was a testament. But it's a true testament to understand how much I loved creating. So I pushed through. I went through all of the trial, all of the error, all of the blanks, all of the mistakes, all of my bank account looking so scary for a couple months. But we made it through. And on the other side, I loved sublimation. I did learn a couple things, like I didn't prefer it for apparel, and I absolutely loved it for tumblers, and some of the blanks, just pass. Over the next several months, I gained a lot of confidence in my projects, and I began posting on Facebook and eventually opened an Etsy shop. But I guess a few locals caught wind of this, and my inbox quickly became flooded with questions like, what is sublimation? How can I begin? And will you please help me? And to be fully transparent, in the beginning, I was like, there's no way I'm helping anybody because nobody was helping me. But then the logical side of my brain kicked in, and I thought, why on earth wouldn't I help these people? Of course, I know how hard it is to get started, and I also have nothing else to do in the middle of this pandemic. So I began writing back. And I quickly found that I loved connecting with creators almost more than I loved creating. I also realized that many people had a lot of the same exact questions. And so on the flip side, I was watching a lot of content both on TikTok and YouTube to learn more. And something just snapped inside of me and thought, well, why don't I just start making video content, answering these questions, and then sending it to those asking the questions? And before I knew it, I was engulfed in content. I loved what I was doing. I loved creating, and it kind of took my mind away from all of the hectic chaos that was going on. What a long winded way to bring you back full circle to where we are today. At almost 200,000 of you following me between TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And I may be a little bit biased here, but I think this is one of my favorite communities for like minded creators. Now we are at a point where there are so many questions flooding in my comment section. And even if I made 5 videos a day, there's no way that I could connect with each and every one of you. So I thought to myself, how can I just have a open communication window with my followers as a friend level to just look through the window of creating and see this is what it's truly like? I think a lot of us in the beginning had rose colored glasses on, and I didn't fall short of this because watching somebody else create seems so much easier. And then you jump in and you're like, wow, that puddle was a pond. And you're not alone in that. And I'm not alone in that. And that's why we're here. So each week, we're going to talk about a new topic, whether that's an umbrella topic like Etsy or a specified topic like where do I find my blanks. Allow this to be an open window into my experience in the crafting journey. I'm not here to push products or tell you that something has to be done a specific way. What I am here to do is share with you things that I have personally been through, things that I hope to never go through again. And if I was able to have a conversation with myself 4 years ago, these are the things that I would tell her. We are all here to succeed. And I love nothing more than to help other creators succeed because I know what this has done for me and I know how it's changed my life. And if I can give that to somebody else, then that's really the only thing that I'm looking for. So let me give you a quick brief rundown. I'm Kaylee once again, and each week you can expect a new podcast. They're going to be uploaded every Sunday because I know it's nice, especially in the wintertime, to curl up, listen to a good podcast, eat some snacks, and think about the week ahead. Additional to this podcast upload, we do have weeks jam packed with content just for you between TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Let me give you a quick rundown so you don't miss anything. On Tuesdays, we host full tutorials. One week will be all about sublimation, and the next week will be all about DTF prints. I break down an array of topics, like how to create specific blanks, including all the settings you need for success and the template sizing, to making your very own custom gang sheets for DTF prints, where to submit, and how to take full advantage of those without purchasing those huge printers. Throughout the remainder of the week, we sprinkle in a lot of additional content like tips and tricks, behind the scenes, and just additional content that I think would be a little bit helpful if I was starting out in the journey. This is where I'm going to get ahead of it before you do. Maybe she's getting a little salesy. I knew it. She was trying to sell me something this entire time. If that's the way you want to look at it, fair enough. But this next section is where I take all of my serious creators. I do have a subscription platform. I promise you it's not very expensive. It's $10 a month, but I provide a lot of value in there and I take a lot of my time putting content into there. So every Monday, I jump in and put links to the best sales, the best pricing, and any special savings that you can find, such as Black Friday or Wallapalooza for Heat Transfer Warehouse. All of those are in there on top of free fonts from Creative Fabrica, any free listings that they're offering. I try to grab as much content and as much resources as possible and upload it so you guys had full advantage in that area. Savings is not the only thing that you can expect over there. Like I said, I host full step by step tutorials each week, and I don't gatekeep. I do give you all of the settings that you need and the template sizing. But I know, especially for beginners, we can become a little overwhelmed when we think about softwares and how to create all of these things. So I've taken one step further and just created the template for you so you can jump in each week and download it, whether that's through Canva or Illustrator. That way, it takes out the entire stressful process and even the time. If you're a professional and you don't have enough time to just create a new template, you don't even have to worry about that anymore. With the subscription, I want to provide as much value to those who are very serious about taking the next step in their creative dream. Our subscription platform did just launch in 2024, so each week it will continue to grow. And by the way, there is a communities tab so you can meet like minded people. We can have sub conversations, we can share our successes, and we can even share our mistakes. And don't get worried, there will be no bullying. I will promise you of that because anybody who is caught bullying will be removed from the group. This is a safe space to share all of your wins, all of your losses, and everything in between. I promise to not keep you much longer. I would just like to remind you that my name is Kaylee, and I'm very thankful that you've chose to spend a little bit of time with me today. I hope that you feel welcome and ready to subscribe and join our community here. I look forward to bringing you new content each week and hearing your topic suggestions down below. Please leave any questions or topics that you would love for me to cover, and I would be happy to go over some of those with you. Heck, maybe even one day I can have some of you on here and do a short little interview. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. One thing about me is I have a very dry sense of humor, so there's going to be some of that mixed into this entire podcast. But once again, you can find all of the additional links, information, anything to stay updated down below. And I look forward to seeing and chatting with you each and every week. Go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And if it's football season, let me know who you're cheering for.